Fearless Fridays is back. Hey guys, welcome back to Fearless Fridays. Today is Friday, May 8th, 2020. This is episode 53 of Fearless Fridays. And I did not expect to take such a long hiatus. But I'm back and I'm happy to be back. If this is your first time watching, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Tryphena, I'm the host. And if you have watched before, thank you so much for joining me again. So we are in a very interesting time right now. I'm going to call it interesting. Some people will call it fearful. Some people will call it anxious. Some people will call it scary. Some people will call it crazy. I'm just going to call it interesting. We're in the midst of this global virus crisis situation. And a lot of us have come to the realization that our control over certain things was just an illusion. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, the illusion of control. Like I said, we're in this crazy, interesting time with this global virus. And because of this global virus, there have been so many shutdowns. It seems like the world has just shut down piece by piece. And, maybe you had a job that you thought was solid and stable and steady, and now you don't have that job anymore. You don't know when that job is coming back. You don't know if that job is coming back. Maybe you felt like your finances were in a great space and you had control over those, and now you feel like they're a little topsy-turvy. A lot of people feel like even their physical bodies, their physical health, they don't have control over that anymore. And so a lot of us are dealing with kind of this illusion of control. And what can I actually control? Do I have control over anything? And I think it's kind of a good thing. As crazy as that might sound, I think it's a good thing, because there are indeed a lot of things in our lives that we can control. But for all of the things that we can control, I think there are so many more things that are outside of our control. And this situation is showing us how true that is, that our idea of control is just an illusion. And so what I want to bring to you today, what I want to share with you, what I want to encourage you with today is, there are a lot of things out of your control. And that might be scary, that might be frightening for those of you who, might be accustomed to controlling everything and feeling like everything is under your influence and your influence only. That might be a crazy or scary or frustrating, angering thing. But I want to remind you that for all of the things that are outside of your control, there are things that are within your control. You get to control your mood. You get to control your joy. You get to control your peace. You get to control what you will allow yourself to deal with, what people you allow into your space, what energies you allow into your space, what thoughts you allow in your mind, what words you allow to come out of your mouth. And a lot of you may know and be aware of the fact that your words have power, your thoughts have power, your energy has power, your mood, your joy, whether you're joyful or angry, whether you're peaceful or anxious, those things have power. So for all of the things that are outside of your control, you can't control when and if your job comes back. You might not be able to control that, and I get that that's scary. You might not be able to control your finances right now. Your money might be a little funny or funnier than usual right now, and that's scary, and I get that. But you can control how you speak about your situation. You can control how you think about your situation. You can control who you allow into your space and how they speak about your situation. You can control your mood. When you wake up in the morning, you can choose to be joyful. You can choose to be peaceful. You can choose to be happy, or you can choose to be sad. You can choose to be angry. You can choose to be depressed. You can choose to wallow. You can choose to lash out at people. But be aware that you have control over those things. You have control over those things. So for everything you don't have control over, be aware of what you do have control over. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a little exercise. You can do this if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to do it, do it. So I want to give you a little exercise. So this week, just this week, you can write this down. You can type it up, put it in your phone, whatever. But think about all of the things that you have lost control over, whether it be your job, whether it be your finances, whether it be your health, whether it be, those of us who love to travel, we've lost control over the ability to travel, So make a list of all of the things that you've lost control over. And for every one of those things, I want you to make a list of the things that you do have control over. So for everything you don't have control over, across from it, write what you do have control over. You may not have control over your job, but you now get to spend time at home with your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your kids, your dog, your cat, your bird, whatever. You might have time now to connect with friends and family that you haven't been able to connect with in a long time because that job has been taking so much of your time. So yeah, maybe you don't have your job right now, and that's stressful and that's scary, and I get it. But the time that you were once spending on that job, you now have that time to spend with family, to spend with friends, to check in on people, or to just spend with yourself, or to spend with God. You now have that time. So that's what I want you to do. Think about all of the things that you've lost control over. Write those things down, make a list, and then write or make a list or just think about the things that you now have control over. You lost control over your job, but you now have control over your time. You lost control. Maybe your finances are, like I said, a little funny, a little whack right now, but you now have time to spend with family and friends, and you don't have to stress about connecting with people anymore. So for everything that you feel you've lost control over, there is something that you do have control over. And be mindful of those things and be grateful for those things, because that's another thing you have control over is your gratitude and how you express your gratitude. Everything's not perfect, but there are some things that you can still be grateful for. So that's what I want you to think about. If you want to do that exercise, do that exercise. If you want to write it down, write it down. If you just want to think about it, then just think about it. But be mindful that for every single thing that you've lost control over, there is another thing that you do indeed have control over. And the power is yours to change the way you think about it. The power is yours to change the way you feel about it. The power is yours to change the way you speak about it. The power is yours. The energy that is in your space, in your life, you have control over that energy. So yeah, maybe you don't have control over your time, maybe, or your job. Maybe you don't have control over your finances, but you have control over your time now. You have more time than maybe you wanted. You have control over your energy. You have control over your peace. You have control over your space. There is still something that you have control over. So that's my encouragement for you this week. I know it's a wacky time, but I want to be here every Friday giving you inspiration, giving you fearlessness, and it's my joy to do that. I love being able to share with you guys, and I'm so happy to be back sharing with you guys. So once again, thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time, guess what? On YouTube, there are 52 other episodes that you can binge on. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you will get a notification every time I drop one of these videos. But know that I will drop one of these videos every Friday. So yeah, we're coming back strong. I'm excited to do so. I love this garden. It's so beautiful. It's so amazing. It's so peaceful. And that's what I'm thinking about today. I have control over my peace. I have control over who I allow in my space, the energy that I allow in my space. And if I want peace to prevail, I have the control to declare that peace will prevail. You have control as well. So think about that. Thank you so much for watching. As always, fear is stupid. Get out in the world as much as you can. I know things are shut down, but go to the park, sit in your front yard, sit in your backyard, but get out in the world, live, love, go, do, be. And remember, for everything you don't have control over, there is something that you do have control over. I will see you next Friday. Bye-bye.